Last season, the National Football League was plagued with controversy. Domestic abuse, politically incorrect mascots and names, Deflategate, and murder. Bob, what foreseeable controversies do you see heading down the pike this season?
Well, I believe that as soon as this show is over, I'm going to get yelled at. So.
By me.
By Dawn, yes.
Oh.
And what brings about that sense of certainty?
Probably because I was being a jerk. But besides that, you know, I first off, I mean, some of the stuff that you said, I mean, like, you know, Deflategate and politically incorrect mascot names.
Yeah.
I guess we're talking about
Redskins. Yeah.
That is not politically incorrect.
The R word.
It's not politically incorrect.
No,
okay?
it's not.
So, you know, I mean, things like that.
It's moronic.
It is. It is.
I see this a lot. I see this very similar to okay, I'm going to go on a tangent, but it's going to make sense, I promise.
Wait when she's done.
The Reagan-Kennedy debate, or I'm sorry, not
Nixon.
Reagan, Nixon-Kennedy debate. Putting political candidates on television and where it went from there. All of a sudden, things were very individualized. We cared a lot more about the personal lives of our candidates. We knew a lot more about the personal lives of our candidates. And I see the NFL and sports in general very similar.
It's not just the
these
NFL,
folks aren't
right,
just
yeah.
part of a team anymore.
Right.
They are celebrities in their own rights. They are individuals. They're part of someone else's fantasy football team. I think that we have jumped the shark of recognizing these folks as an actual team and rather pointing out the individuals and wanting to know more about those individuals. So I don't think that all of a sudden football players started beating their wives. You know,
You think they've been doing it all along?
I think they've been doing it all along.
They're-
Just like wife beaters, they haven't gone away, right? We've just become either more aware, less aware, depending on the community that you're in.
They're a cross-section of society and representative in every way. I think, you know, to be honest, I think what we're seeing with professional sports is very much synonymous with what we're seeing with politics. Ultimately, those guys, their job is to go out and play a game. Hopefully as part of a team, but they're there as entertainment. We are focusing entirely too much on too many factors that have nothing to do with that game. And some of them do when it comes to Deflategate, although for the life of me, I cannot figure out how a slightly deflated football could have had as much of an impact on the end result of a game as people are claiming.
I haven't heard anybody claim that it had a result, that significant a result on the game. It's just cheating.
Well, no, but a lot of the arguments were that really the reason the Patriots won was because of the...
My question is, why do we have an inflation
A good offensive
level
team and a
on the?
terrible
Why do we
defense.
have that rule in the first place? Who cares? Let the quarterback have the ball at whatever
Yeah.
pounds of pressure he wants.
Yeah, you know.
Or
and-
if you have that rule, then there has to be a mechanism for verifying that it's the right PSI.
And you
before-
got to do it before every play
Before
because
it
we
hits the
know
field, yeah.
the weather changes it. You know, the temperature changes it. That's just.
I mean, players are becoming more individualized. I mean, face it. When in the past have you ever seen, you know, a football player, especially a quarterback, do a commercial and, you know, hi,
The
I'm
peak
Andrew
was a
Luck
Wheaties
and I'm
box.
out of
The peak
control
was a Wheaties box
beard.
for a
You know,
professional
I mean,
athlete.
you know, that's what it used to be. Like you said, you know, on the Wheaties or you did a Pepsi commercial or something like that. But I mean, now you're doing DirecTV or cable. I mean, come on, you know.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, you know, from a sportsmanship level, so we had, and I can't remember which Olympics it was, but we had the Dream Team, the basketball team, which had all these stars.
Right.
And they were all the best
Iverson.
players from all the best NBA teams, and they ended up getting creamed because they did not play as a team. They played as a bunch of individuals who were more concerned about their image on the field than ultimately playing the game as it should be played. And I think there's something to be said for that as well. From a sportsmanship level, let's focus on what the game actually is about.
Well, why do people like their athletes? Do they like them strictly because they perform well on the court or on the field, or do they like them for the story?
You
Are
know,
they
I idolize
storytellers?
them.
Are they selling their story? Because I would believe that they are. I mean, think of Johnny Football. I mean, he was making millions off of Snickers commercials before he actually did anything valuable on an NFL football
And he haven't
field.
done it yet, right?
Yeah, he did a pretty decent job this past weekend. He actually put himself on the map in terms of
There used to be a time, and it wasn't all that long ago. It was probably, let's just even say that it was 10 months ago, when I did idolize a few players, and I do that because of what they do off the field, okay, with nonprofits and things like that, or the fact that you don't ever see their names in the newspaper.
Right.
And some are just good players.
Those are the ones that I think, because every kid when I was growing up, I wanted to be Johnny Unitas. I mean, I lived in Hagerstown, Maryland, and we were Baltimore Colts fans, and
Until they left in the middle of the night.
until I got old enough to realize that the Cowboys were a better team. But anyway, it's I mean, everybody wants to
where did
have
that
someone to
come
look
from,
up
by the
to.
way?
I hated the Redskins. I
Had something to do with
I
it.
tried to
Politically
like the.
incorrect name,
I actually
right?
tried to like the Redskins because my dad was a Skins fan, but I
So let's talk
hated
about because we've talked about individuals. The Redskins controversy is a team controversy. It's not an individual controversy. And, in my mind,
It's a non-issue.
it is a complete non-issue.
It's a non-issue. There shouldn't even be a controversy about it. I mean, it's a non-issue.
And
we
yet
have
we've got
become a
courts
nation
ruling
offended
that
of
they can't-
everything.
We've got courts ruling that they can't maintain their trademarks and all of this other stuff. This is just, the wheels have come off the bus.
They have. And the last time I looked,
I think they should change their name to the Crackers, personally.
Kansas City should do that, just for the Kansas City Crackers. There we go. I mean, it just rings. It just rolls right off the tongue.
KCK. Or
I really do think, we're on this similar thread here, talking about the debate and talking about football, and it seems like we're all on the same page with this table by agreeing that with both of these issues, what is actually paid attention to through media and through public interest.
oh yeah.
And
social
understanding
media.
of, it actually detracts from the goal. I mean, the goal of the NFL.
And it takes up valuable news cycles when we
Yes.
could be talking about things that really could help people.
But we don't.
That's the
we don't
issue.
want to talk about things.
Well, and
that
it's
would
the
really help
trough
people.
of public opinion doesn't seem to benefit from actual issues.
No.
It benefits from garbage.
Well, and Jim said it. I mean, 20% of the people actually pay attention to any of the issues ever, and I mean, you can see that in local elections, just around here.
my, yeah.
Well, and the sad part is a larger percentage of the general population could probably tell you about Kim Kardashian's dimensions than they could about anything that's of any actual value.
I think we ought to just go ahead and head out on that one. Run us out of here.
Next up, per some viewer requests, our panelists share some insight into their own personal preferences. Stay with us.